And we are live. What's going on, folks? Welcome to episode number 39 of the Nuclear Golf Podcast. My name is John. I'm the co-owner of Nuclear and TW Legion. Joined tonight by the usual gang, Joey from Scheffler Fans, Ryan from JT Legion, and Hutch Bennett, one of our Nuclear Golf ambassadors. Fellas, a few topics to touch on tonight, but it's a really sad day in the world of golf. The golf social media landscape lost one of its members today. Cody Beef Frankie, one of Foreplay Golf's members, suddenly tragically passed away over the weekend. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and just remember the legacy that he left on our game. And just golf is a tight community, and you can really feel it today online, just everybody reaching out, the outpouring of support that he received. We're gonna get into it, but all of us at Nuclear Golf, we're thinking about him, his family, the Foreplay podcast crew, and everyone over at Barstool. Thinking about you guys. It's a tough day for sure. Also going to talk about the Big Break Good show that's been announced. Big Break's coming back. It's obviously one of Golf Channel's best shows ever. They're back on it with a unique twist this year with the Good guys. They're tying that into the Good Championship, which is taking place next November. The recent tournament that was announced down in Austin. Dustin Johnson has reportedly extended his contract with Live Golf. That was reported over the weekend, so we'll chat a little bit about that and some of the other guys who could be joining and some of the guys who could be returning to Live. We'll also touch on the Century Tournament of Champions, which has been canceled for the 2026 season. PGA Tour season is going to be getting underway at the Sony Open in Hawaii. So we'll talk about that. And then just sports that we're watching. I don't have a ton to contribute here, but fellas do. So we'll get into some football stuff, maybe some baseball, a little bit of hockey. And we'll go from there. So how you guys doing tonight? Joey, just give us your thoughts on obviously the tough news today that Beef passed away.
Yeah, man, it's just super sad, obviously, unexpected and sprung upon the golf community. And I'm sure it's been tough for not only his family and people close to him, but also everyone over at Foreplay and anybody he's collaborated with in terms of just online for golf. It's tough. And nowadays, being online facing, it's hard to stay away from negativity. He was one of those guys that always just seemed to be a shining light and super positive. And it seems that everyone that had something to say online today just mirrored those thoughts. So, yeah, just super tough and super sad. And it's good to see the golf community, obviously, all being behind, again, his family and the Foreplay guys, but just a tough situation.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Like, I remember catching some of his videos would go a little viral sometimes. Some of his being as tied in as we are with golf social media, like our algorithms are all skewed towards golf anyway. So I'd see some of his like tip videos when he was just a professional working at his course, whatever he worked at. And obviously he stands out, right? Like he's a big guy. He stood out and it was good. And then obviously, Dave or Riggs or somebody saw that and they ended up hiring him. I think I saw Big Cat say today, like he was in the Dominican or something for a wedding and had a medical emergency, which is so terrible. But you will not be able to look online and find one negative thing said about him today. Every single person was just singing his praises, and not in a way like, a lot of times when people pass, everybody's just got nice stuff to say just because it's the right thing to do. In this one, I can't remember any negativity going his way. And that's what the internet, like, they love to hate. It's just full of some haters. It's a toxic place. And I can't remember a time looking back where there was any negativity really about him, because he was so nice, even down to the, how he took off his hat every time he shook somebody's hand, every single time. There's that viral video that Foreplay posted a while back at the Waste Management when they were doing their crossover. And it's just a whole mashup of him taking his hat off to shake thousands of people's hands. Like, it's just such a genuine, nice dude. And I hate it for the Foreplay guys, and I hate it for them because replacing Danny Rapp and replacing Lurch before that, like they were just kind of starting to get their footing. He'd been there long enough to where he started to feel like a natural part of the group and not just an addition. You know what I mean? So I also thought it was really cool. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but I thought it was really cool that, they've got this whole internet invitational crossover with Bob Does Sports, and that was supposed to release today. And I thought it was good that they pushed that a day. Obviously, since he participated in it, and they said the whole thing would be kind of in memoriam or whatever of memorandum or whatever of him just in general. But overall, just a great guy, and I hate to see anybody go so young. I mean, he's younger than I am, which is it hits you a little more real when people your age start passing. So
yeah, rare is the day you see the internet agree on something.
yeah.
And the internet agreed today that he was a great guy. Everything anybody said was, anytime you met him, he was the nicest guy. He shook your hand. He was cordial. He was polite. That's not just echoed from the Barstool folks. That's echoed across anybody who commented today. So I thought that was pretty amazing to see that. And it's nice to see that somebody that the internet is reaching out. It doesn't just seem like it's a thoughts and prayers kind of a throwing it out there. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, hey, this guy was a genuine dude. I thought that was very touching. Just in the small little niche groups that we have in this golf space, like everybody kind of feels this. So because if it was to happen to any other one of the little niche groups, I think we would all still feel the same. But yeah, I mean, a man gone too soon that was a great guy. So again, every thoughts and prayers for sure with his family and with the Barstool guys and the foreplay guys, and by all accounts, he left a great mark on this world. So, R.I.P., buddy.
Yeah, before we turn the page to the next topic, I just want to read the Foreplay Pod statement for anyone that may have missed it. We are beyond devastated to announce that our dear friend and beloved Barstool Sports colleague, Cody B. Frankie, passed away from a sudden medical issue over the weekend. Cody truly loved the game of golf. He selflessly spent much of his life helping others improve and enjoy the game. Watching golf bring people happiness brought him happiness, and that infectious personality was felt by everyone who met him. He was universally known as the nicest guy in the world. From his time as a PGA professional to his time at Barstool Sports, Cody made so many people laugh. He made so many people smile, and he simply made so many people better. Our heartfelt thoughts and prayers are with Cody's entire family and loved ones. We'll be removing our hats for Cody today and every day. Rest in peace to the classiest man we knew. So a great statement from Foreplay and Barstool. They also posted a memoriam post with him, with his image in black and white. And it's just a really tough day, as we talked about. Like I said earlier, the golf community, it's so big, but it's also so small at the same time. And it just feels like everybody had something positive to say about him today. All the influencers and guys that go to events and just ordinary people who met him at, events like the Barstool Classic, seem to have such a great positive experience meeting him and talking with him. So thinking of everybody who knew him and his family and everybody that's affected by his loss. It's
the
a
way
tough
Barstool does things too. Like I'm sure they'll
take care of
be
him.
making sure, taking care of his family and making sure everything's tied up on that end. I know they catch a lot of slack, but they're a first class organization over there. They try to do things the right way, not in the corporate greed spirit of things that we see far too often.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shift the page a little bit. Talk about the good big break show that's been announced. Just your guys' thoughts. I think it's going to be returning August 2026, I believe, which is 3 months prior to the Good Championship. So I believe the winner of Big Break Good is going to get an exemption into the Good Championship, if I'm not mistaken. There's also going to be 2 guys from the Good Golf who are going to be on the show as well, right?
Yeah.
Brad and Sean are going to be competing, and Matt Sharf is actually going to be one of the co-hosts on the show alongside Blair O'Neill, who won the show back in, I believe, 2013, right? So what are your guys' thoughts on the return of the show? Is this something that they needed to do to kind of reignite the programming on their network? Like I know I used to enjoy Big Break, like back when I was young. I mean, I was watching, and at the time I wasn't like too wrapped up in golf at that point, but I just enjoyed watching it from an entertainment standpoint. I mean, little did I know that like Tony Finau was on there, which I had really no idea probably at the time, which is funny because he's, so many guys have been on that show, and it's so unique. I think it's good entertainment, good content. So just your guys' thoughts on the return of the show. Are you going to be watching, or is it kind of too late, or are you still kind of interested in this?
I'm gonna watch it. I love it, man. I mean, I used to love it. This was kind of when I if I have my timeline right, it's kind of when I first caught the golf bug, and I really loved it. I mean, Tommy Two Gloves, he was on the Big Break, man, and he just won recently on the senior tour, so that really takes you back as to how old you are when you used to see him back in the day. I mean, I loved the show. I thought it was fun. I'm sure it's probably going to be more innovative now. So I'm actually excited about it. I'm excited that these guys are a part of it because they can bring an audience and they can bring things that they know are gonna sell, and they know that people are gonna watch. So I'm actually excited about it. I mean, I'm all up for golf challenges. So
it was kind of a cult classic, right? Like that show just, and it for no other reason. Like I'm gonna watch it just for the nostalgia of it. Like it was such a thing. I remember people like I know you're the ones y'all mentioned, like Tony Finau and Blair O'Neill and Tommy Two Gloves, but I remember like Robbie Beershank, and they called him Shank. I remember that, like just old country boy from South Carolina, and like stuff like that. I'm so excited just to watch the show again because that was so much fun back then. I remember they had the son of a legend. I don't remember which legend it was, but they had a guy on it. God, that's going to drive me crazy. Joey, you talk about it while I look that up.
Well, I mean, I've seen it before, but I wasn't, a prime watcher when it came out, obviously.
It's probably because you're in diapers.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of, like from that perspective of things, I mean, obviously the YouTube and social media golf world's kind of built its own bubble just in the sport in general. So I love that they're getting creative and just trying to have some sort of a connection between the two. Obviously, this is probably a really good way to dip your toe in the water of some sort of connection without people losing their minds that we're losing the integrity of the sport and people are taking over. I think it's a really good blend. And again, as someone that isn't watching it like Hutch for the nostalgia feature, I think it's a really good thing to throw in there, especially towards like a lull in the season. And then obviously having the incentive of, man, you watch somebody and, kind of grow onto their story. They got a chance to get an exemption into the good event that's going to be in November, I think we said is late November or something like that. So I think it's just a really cool, creative idea. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, big whoop. But I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think we all want to see balls going through panes of glass again. Like, I mean, that was so much fun. Like, just breaking glasses in different windows. I mean, that's the whole Tiger thing about hitting shots through different windows and like, like no pun intended windows, but like, I mean, that was so much fun and like aiming at cameras and chasing the range cart, like trying to hit targets. Like, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Remember the window thing? Like, was it Chi Rodriguez that hit himself in the balls after he hit the
balls? Yeah,
that was. And there was they did it at a course one time in Myrtle Beach where I'd played that course before, and now it's so sad to see when you drive by it when I go there in the summer. Like it's just gone, but you can still see like the cart paths are still there. You can still see what looked like a hole, but it's just overgrown. The son of the legend I was talking about was on it in 2011, like that same year with Robbie Beershank. Robert Floyd, Raymond Floyd's son, was on it one year. I remember they brought him in for an episode, and like there's influencers like Will Lowry, the cross-handed guy, you know who I'm talking about. He was on it too that same season. Like it's just good times. And even I'm looking at the 2011 season, that one that Beershank and Will Lowry and them were on. Like the winner of that was you got into Zurich Classic that
You remember
year
Kip?
in
You remember Kip
2012.
Henley? Who remember Kip?
Kip,
The
yeah, yeah,
blonde-headed guy. He's like caddied
yeah,
for like 5 different tour guys.
yeah. He's a fun follow on Twitter. And there's some women I remember on there like Sarah Brown, Mallory Black Welder. Like I just remember that show was one of my favorites growing up. That was right around the time that I started to really, really, like you say, Ryan, really get into golf at that time. So it
Yeah.
was like, it's a cult classic to me. It's going to be interesting to see it now in like the climate today with social media, where it's like we need instant gratification. So like back then though, it was like, oh, I can't wait to watch next week to see what
Yeah.
happens. And now it's like everything just gets dumped on us at once. So it's going to be an interesting little change of pace, because I'm sure the winner will probably leak out at some point. I hope that I don't see it, but I'm so excited. And I mean, I can't believe we have to wait till August, but we'll do it. We've been
Yeah.
waiting for 2 years for Tiger to come back.
couple specifics about this. So this is going to be taking place at Horseshoe Bay Resort. This is season number 24, if you can believe that. But they've had an 11-year hiatus. Couple things, signature elements, the glass break and the flop wall are both going to be returning. That's been confirmed. Winner automatically gets an entry into the Good Championship, which is taking place in November. So it's exciting. I mean, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Blair O'Neill, she won the 2010 edition. She is going to be co-hosting alongside Garrett Clark, right? Garrett Clark's going to be.
Yeah, and Bubby, I think.
Oh, Garrett Clark and Bubby are going to be non-playing captains. It's Matt Sharp who's
Okay.
going to be co-hosting with Blair. So again, once again, this is good, in partnership with NBC and Golf Channel. Right? They've had programming previously on Peacock. They've dipped their toe in the water on certain aspects, and then now things are just really getting to that next level with, a full-on show sponsoring the PGA Tour Good Championship in November. So they've really taken things to new heights with the investment. We talked about it on last week's show, I believe. But yeah, it's exciting. It's good. It's something different. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think we'll probably all be watching to see kind of how things are going to look for a big break episode in 2026.
Can't wait.
Yeah, super excited for it. So Dustin Johnson is back with LIV. Is anyone surprised? Apparently he has re-signed with the LIV Golf League. I know Hutch is just chomping at the bit to watch him compete. No, in all seriousness, I mean, pretty expected move, right? I don't think we thought that Dustin Johnson was going to be returning to the PGA Tour. It seems like he's fully embraced this kind of lifestyle. Little bit less serious, still gets to compete in the majors. So it works for him. Give a shout out to our guy Flushing It over on X. Was the first to report the news that DJ had been meeting with LIV Golf officials in New York. Seems they have come to an agreement, and an extension has been, I don't know if it's officially signed yet, but it's going to be. He also reported that like pretty much all the guys are going to be returning. So I'm not sure how accurate that is. It seems probably true. We know that the contracts that these guys are signing for round 2 are not like the signing bonuses that they had for round 1, right? Season, like the first few seasons, they're at a much lower extension, like much lower contract value. So be interesting to see, but just thoughts on DJ re-signing. Is this just kind of par for the course, Hutch?
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. I mean, he's been very open since he went there that he likes the flexibility and the freedom that the schedule that LIV gives him. He was never like particularly after he got married and started having kids, like he was never a guy that wanted to play 25 tournaments on the PGA Tour. Like he didn't want to do it. And a lot of times I think that got mistaken for, just indifference or not caring or whatever. Either way, like for what he's looking for, LIV is the perfect thing for him. He's looking for a reduced schedule, he's already earned his way into the majors anyway through his past successes when he was a full-time tour player. Like, this is exactly what he wants. And then you get a nice little bag on the side of it, and it just makes everything better. So, I mean, you could file that under the least shocking news that you'll read about Liv, like, ever, because that's just that it feels like a tour that was just made for DJ for what he wants to do.
And he's mentioned too recently, like, when he had his match with Phil and Grant and those guys with his brother, like, he's only got a couple years. I say a couple, 2 to 4 years, 5 years left. Like, this is probably kind of his last, like, kind of hurrah, like, as far as like playing regularly, and then like he's gonna play the majors, I guess, when he wants. But this is just fitting. This is just kind of a into the sunset kind of a signing right here for me.
He said on that episode you're talking about, somebody said something about playing golf in 10 years. And I think his quote was, if I'm still playing golf in 10 years, something has gone terribly wrong.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you think like that's kind of hard to envision somebody who's so good at something doing that. But then, like, I don't know if you guys caught the NBA on NBC last week. They had a interview with Michael Jordan, and Mike Tirico asked him when the last time he picked up a basketball was, and he was like, "It's been years.
Yeah,
it's
like
12 years since I picked up a basketball."
Yeah.
I was like, that's wild. Like, you're just so good at it, you don't feel the need to do it. Like, that's for me. I guess I'll just never reach that level.
I think it was a joke.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't picked up a basketball, to be honest, because all he does is play golf and fish. I mean, I don't think he has time for the hoops anymore, man.
Yeah, and God knows what kind of shape his legs are in. Like, and like for me, when I hit like 28 years old, like, we used to play in my friends and I used to play in like adult league basketball and adult league softball and stuff like that. When I hit like 28 and I was playing golf regularly, it switched to, if I get hurt doing this, I'm not going to be able to play golf. So every one of us just stopped. I mean, it's all for the golf. So I don't know what kind of, like, Michael Jordan could be sitting back thinking, like, if I get hurt playing pickup basketball, like, I won't be able to play golf for a while. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Well, in terms of DJ, like, people are, I mean, obviously you're going to have the bots in the comments saying whatever they want. I mean, they're making the point that it's because he's not good enough to go compete with like Rory and Scotty. Not that he would really need to. I just don't see why you would. Why would you go back to the tour if you already, especially, I mean, for some of the younger guys on Liv, sure, I get it. If the money is clearly not what it used to be for Liv, or you just feel like it's an integrity thing, I don't know. But for these guys that are more senior players that have kind of made that big jump at first, like, you already have faced the brunt of all the stuff you're going to get for going to Liv. You're going to make more money, easier schedule. I mean, there's still nothing really dragging you back to the tour at this point. I know Rom kind of got started around for a little bit, that he kind of missed it and that people were speculating that might happen. But again, if you've already made the jump, nothing's changed to incentivize people to go back to the tour necessarily. So yeah, in terms of DJ, I don't understand why you would ever even consider it, really.
We do have the Flushing It Golf post. He said, multiple sources confirm that Dustin Johnson has signed a new contract with Liv Golf. The details of the deal are unknown at this stage, but the 2022 individual championship winner was in New York recently to meet with officials and will be returning as captain of the Four Aces GC in 2026. He went on to say, there's been lots of speculation about star names leaving the league, but we understand that most players up for renewal this year have already agreed to terms and will be teeing it up next season, with all players not released or relegated also expected to do so. Now, this is the initial wave of guys who signed. Like a lot of their contracts are up for renewal, but our understanding is that, like, guys like John Rahm, guys like Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, we believe are up at the end of next season, like this coming season, 2026 season. At the end, they're up for renewal. John Rahm's goes even beyond that. It's either the end of 2027 or the end of 2028. I think it's 27. But so we're not going to be hearing about Brooks. We're not going to be hearing about Bryson right now. But we are going to be hearing about, the initial guys that side. Like I don't know about Phil either, but I think guys like DJ who just resigned, guys like probably like the Ian Poulters of the world, Lee Westwoods of the world, like those guys who initially signed and joined, they're the ones that are probably having the renegotiations right now, right? So,
and for your Ian Poulters, like that might be like, please take me back. Please give me
just
one more contract.
He made it. Yeah, he made it back. He made it back. Just remember, he was in the final.
Yeah,
like, he was
in the relegation zone. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Very-
he went off. Yeah, he made it.
What do you? I mean, like DJ number wise, I would have zero clue. I'm just trying to even think of a ballpark that they've gotten down to.
His initial thing was rumored to be at 100 million.
150, I thought.
So this one, I don't know. I mean,
what's the number of years? What's the number of years?
It hadn't
We
been
don't
reported.
know. They're not
Just
revealing
that he's back.
Well, when
Okay,
he signed, it was 3 years.
2-3 years, I would imagine, probably.
I mean,
I would
Yeah,
say-
his first contract though was 3 years. Yeah, Joey.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll maybe do a 2-year extension for like 30. I don't know. Again, I'm just totally.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Somewhere between 10 and 20 million a year
Which
for a
is so
couple years.
crazy.
But they're also kind of getting into, and I know I heard Bryson mention it at one point, like equity in the ownership of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much of a role that plays in it, or if he's getting any of that, or if he gets any cut off the merch, or I don't know how that goes. Like there's just so much about the business model of that we'll never understand. And that's okay, I guess. But it'd be nice if they had like a salary cap so we knew what everybody's contract was like in all the other sports.
Yeah. The other thing I want to touch on here, if I can find it. So we didn't have this in our list of topics tonight, but just turning the page for a sec. LAGC of the TGL Golf League. So they've received new investment from Illich Sports and Entertainment. And apparently their new investment brings the valuation of LAGC close to $90 million. That's the value that we're talking about for LAGC. So these are the TGL teams. So I don't know what the value of these live teams are. It's similar, like in the sense that it's a franchise. There's 4 players on each team. They each have internal budgets and things like this, right? So they're running businesses across all the teams. It's just interesting. TGL, Josh Carpenter over on X also reported TGL has been working with the LPGA on a possible collaboration. TGL filed trademarks for a quote WTGL this past summer. So could be some news coming. Could be some news coming.
We should have followed.
They're getting into it. While we're on the topic of TGL, they also announced last week that they are making a few changes for the 2026 season. One of those changes is about the size of the green. Did you guys see that? It's like a 5,500 yard green now. They've expanded it by 40% larger.
Well, you know what? That's a good thing though, because it can make for different angles and different pin placements and stuff. So that's actually good, I think.
Yeah. So there's now 12 hole locations, and there are 50% larger bunkers as well. So the new putting surface is 5,200 square feet, which I believe brings it up to like PGA Tour average, with the size of most greens at a typical venue. So previous putting surface was 3,800 square feet. So this is the green zone renovation, they're calling it.
I think it's a good thing with the size of the green, because I thought it just seemed like every match you saw the same putts. So it's nice. It's nice to see that there's going to be a lot more putts, and then with the expansion of the green, you're obviously going to see a lot more different. You're going to see some different chip shots too. So I think it's going to be good. I mean, I think it's something that they need to do. I like the fact that they're going to be making the fairway bunker shots harder by raising that lip more, because it seemed like those guys were getting out of there pretty easily. So yeah, I think it's some good changes so far.
Which is, I think, like to your point about seeing the same putts, like all those guys are so good. Like there's not much that separates them from each other. You know what I mean? So like everybody's kind of hitting into the same areas and into the same spots. They all know where they need to hit it. And they're all pretty damn good at hitting it where they need to hit it. So especially on a simulator. So it's the bigger green was always the way to go. If for nothing else, that you just have so many different possibilities for hole locations and maybe different looks and places to miss it and things of that nature. So that's a big deal for them. And obviously, I mean, if LAGC is at $90 million, like it's if you needed a sign that TGL wasn't going anywhere, like that.
Yeah, it's clearly not going anywhere. Like the teams are literally bringing in new investment dollars. They're announcing expansion to the green size. Like they're not just doing this stuff and not going to come on TV and put out the product, right? Like it's happening. TV schedules out. Yeah.
They've got to build, and I thought they did a pretty decent job of it last year. You got to see some personality out of the guys, but they've got to build more of that because I think it's clear at this point, like the biggest draw was Tiger and Rory, and you're losing Tiger. I mean, him being in attendance is not going to be enough to make people watch. No. Let's turn on ESPN and watch Tiger watch golf on a simulator.
No.
So we'll see how it goes. That's a big thing, though. I'm excited a little more for the season now.
Yeah, so some changes coming, and we'll see. Not this season, but next is when they will be introducing Motor City GC, which is a 7th TGL franchise based out of Detroit. There's rumors about additional expansion beyond that, potentially Dallas. And then obviously there's talk about integrating the women's into it as well. However, that's going to work, not sure. Whether that's a separate thing or if that's a team, we don't really know. Or if it's going to be players. It sounds like a whole league with the WTGL, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Something to watch here over the next months and years as news kind of develops with it. So the Century Tournament of Champions, it's canceled for 2026. Are you guys surprised? We obviously saw photos of the plantation course at Kapalua. It looked pretty dead out there. You can see the live shots. It looks like it's come back to life a little bit from what it was. It was really, really bad like a month or so ago. But so we're not going to be having, there was talk that they were going to try and potentially move the Tournament of Champions to somewhere else, but I think logistically it's just not really possible. Tournament of Champions is very uniquely suited for Hawaii. And then obviously they have Sony the next week, so they're just going to go straight to the Sony. And so what are you guys' thoughts? Was it the right call? I know tournament like at Kapalua, they've had like golf. You can still play golf there right now at severely discounted rates starting in November, I believe, right? So what do you guys think about it?
It's just, I mean, it's clearly not in a manner to host a tour event. I mean, obviously you're trying to bring it back and get it to where it is, and it's just not ready. And it's not an event that's willing to throw all the, I mean, there's so much behind the scenes that goes into an event. And there's also a lot of wear and tear, especially in terms of, spectators, and there's just a lot to a course. And so I think if they're just not 100% that it would be good to host, they're just not going to pull the trigger. It's not worth it, especially where it is in the season, and just shift to the Sony, and it brings similar vibes. So it doesn't surprise me.
I mean, that's a Hawaii event, right? Like they always kind of framed it as you win a tournament, you get to go. They kind of framed it as a vacation, right? Like you play a tournament for some money, but it's really a vacation. Take your family, whatever. It'd be hard to move that to like, I don't know how many courses in Hawaii there are that are like suited to host a tour event logistically. Not just talking about quality of the course, but like spectators and grandstands, and how long it takes to get all that stuff put together. I don't know that moving the event to California even really made any sense. It just seemed like the smartest thing to do was just call it off for this year. Course does look like it's come back a little bit, but certainly not up to tour level expectations.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I was surprised about was like from a sponsorship perspective. Like I just thought that they would have probably tried to to relocate it. Again, logistically, I don't know what makes the most sense. I don't know if you run it back at Sony and run back-to-back tournaments there. I don't know if you change it up. I don't know if there's another course out there. I know the senior tour plays in Hawaii as well. I'm not sure exactly which course they play on. I hate it. But I mean, the course, based off of the way that I've seen it, I mean, it was dried out. It looked. I mean, if drives were
Yeah.
going the way I was looking at it, if drives were going 450 yards before, they'd be going 550 yards as dry as it is out there now. So, yeah,
Which
it
could have been
sucks.
interesting.
I hate it for the tournament. I hate it for Kapalua because it's a great place. But we got next year. This is it's kind of like a COVID year in a way. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll get back. We'll get back to it. So, but I do hate it for those guys because that is a fun tournament to watch. I just remember watching Tiger and Ernie play in that tournament and going down the stretch forever. I mean, it just brings back good memories.
And maybe they do that. Maybe they reward some of the guys that didn't, maybe like guys that aren't normally tour winners. Like maybe they let them in next year too. I mean, because it's a limited field, isn't it? Because you got to win. So
It is.
there's only
Yeah.
X amount of people in it. So maybe they just add more people to it next year.
Yeah, didn't I see, John? You probably have it. The guys that were qualified, they're getting extra spots in a different
I believe it's the
elevated
Travelers.
event
Oh,
or something this year.
yeah, I think it's the Travelers.
Okay.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah, they're getting in something to
So
do
that
with the
makes
Travelers.
sense.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts before we just kind of shift to a more general discussion on sports right now, which I will have very little contributions to.
Come on.
Just thoughts on the skins game, which is going to be back on, I think it's Black Friday. We've got, who do we got? Xander Schauffele, Keegan Bradley, I think Justin Thomas,
And Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood. Is it JT? Did I get that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, JT and Fleetwood. So yeah, coming on Black Friday, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. It's going to be in the morning before like anything else on that day. Like lots of sports on that day, so they're getting out in front of it. Ryan, is this something you're going to be tuning in for on Black Friday, or are you going to the mall?
Actually, I'll be in the Outer Banks, so I won't be watching it, but I wish I was watching it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for a skins game. Like, I mean, this like predates my time, like a lot of the old skins games and stuff, but I've seen a lot of highlights. I used to love watching that stuff. I'm all for more golf in the lulls of TV viewing when nothing else is on. Like I'm a degenerate, so I'm good for watching that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely down for it. I mean, just the more things we're throwing at it, like this big break, like whether TGL's evolving, whether the skins game. I mean, the game of golf is growing. There's more options for everybody. I think we're tapping into some nostalgia with this skins game with the older
Right.
with the older crowd for sure. So hell yeah, I'm down for it.
I mean, I agree. They're like just trying different forms of content, not only bringing some older nostalgia back, and maybe that's in an effort to kind of course the two, where it's, hey, we're bringing this different side of the game in, but we understand that a lot of the older folks and more seasoned fans of golf, I guess, especially towards the PGA, would feel a certain way about that. So maybe it's a little bit of bridging there. But I mean, yeah, again, try it. I'm not too sure about the timing. I don't know how well that'll work out. I mean, that is one of those days that or even that whole weekend, it's just the TV's kind of on. We talked about with TGL, you just kind of find a time when the TV's on for like a holiday and people are either in the dining room or just around the house. And if there's something on, it's on the TV, whether anyone's locked in and glued to it, different story. So I guess we'll just wait and see what the ratings look like. But I mean, yeah, I'll tune in. I'll be interested. So, I mean, I guess that's the goal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Should
they're
be
doing
interesting
it.
to watch. Yeah.
I think it is just kind of like you say, bridging the gap a little bit. I mean, you're seeing them kind of tap into the younger side of things, particularly like we talked about with the good sponsorship and whatnot and things of that nature. And then, I mean, doing this on Amazon on Black Friday, like that day, I know Amazon has a 3:00 NFL game on that day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to fit in obviously before that, because as we've talked about on the show before, like right now the NFL is king in America. So it's kind of one of those deals. It'll be interesting to see. I do think it's very much bridging the gap, kind of like Ryan was saying, the nostalgia of, you know, the older crowd with the Skins game. Like you think back to all those classic ones that were on TV back then, and you know, maybe bridging it a little bit by putting it on a streaming service, kind of trying to tie in the younger crowd to it as well.
Dude, how many
sure.
ads are we going to get for Amazon golf balls on that? That's going to be ridiculous.
A lot. I think that's why they launched golf balls.
Yeah.
Probably.
they're
Now
doing
that
this.
you say that, could be why. I was gonna just quickly say, like, Amazon, I don't know about other sports, but like I watch some NHL on Amazon, and like it is a nice production. I don't know about the other sports. Is it the same way? It kind of feels modern and innovative, like they do things a little bit differently.
The NFL is excellent on Amazon because
Okay.
they have an alternate stream where you can watch like Thursday Night Football Vision or something like that. But it's an alternate stream, like where you can see before the play, they'll kind of highlight on defense, like who they think is going to blitz, if anybody's going to blitz, and you get a lot of extra stats and percentages and stuff like that. Me personally, I watch just the regular broadcast on Amazon, but it's just such high quality. And
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like you can't beat. I love Al Michaels calling a football game, so that's a big part of it for me too. And I don't mind Kirk Herbstreit either. So yeah, like you're saying, John, it's just a high quality production.
Yeah, and
all
it's
the way
being
around.
produced. It's being produced by Pro Shop Studios, you know, in partnership with Amazon. So I expect a pretty good broadcast, to be honest with you.
They're
So
high
we'll
quality
see.
too.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes. All right, fellas, I'm turning it over to you guys. Talk some sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Maybe I'll add something in about the Sens. I don't know, but
we need to
go on ahead.
Ryan's Chiefs are playing right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, I have a dual fanship with the Colts and the Chiefs. So obviously this year there's been a hell of a year for me so far. The Chiefs have not looked great tonight so far, but I will say the Colts have looked amazing this year so far. Danny Dimes is playing well. Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, is the current leader for MVP, I would think. Maybe outside of maybe Baker or maybe Joey or Hutch. Maybe you guys haven't somebody else you would nominate in that top 2 or 3. But yeah, it's been a fun year. I mean, NFL football, I felt like it started slow this year. College football started fast. And then I kind of felt like this weekend college football was kind of a lull. And I just felt like the games weren't great for some reason this weekend. But it's been fun. We all love football. We could sit here and talk it all day.
Danny Dimes has officially been upgraded to Danny Dollars because he is just balling out of control right now. What I think is crazy, and I saw this stat the other day, is like for as bad as the Vikings quarterback situation's been, they had both the number 1 and number 3 guy in total QBR on their roster last year, and they let them both go to go with JJ, and then ended up being Carson Wentz, who's now out for the season. So that was certainly a choice. But with your college point, like it was a lull, like in terms of games, but man, the last few weeks in college football has just been insane with people getting fired just left and right. Like these buyouts mean nothing anymore. Like Brian Kelly getting fired at LSU, which I mean, I think most people didn't think that was a good fit to begin with. I mean, John, for you don't know, he's like he came from Notre Dame, but he's not a Southerner at all. And when he first got introduced, John, he went to LSU, which is it's in Louisiana. I don't know how close it is to New Orleans, but he went to their basketball game to get introduced, and he like put on this fake ass Southern accent. He was like, "My family is so excited to be here." And so, like, it was just insane. It just never was a good fit.
I think I heard about it when it happened, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
it
went viral.
They spent so much money on their roster this season, and it just hadn't worked out. And hell, he got fired.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be
general
crazy. Just the coaching carousel in general is going to be crazy.
It's been nuts, and these buyouts, to your point, they mean nothing. I mean, the best job in sports is a fired college football coach. Like it's the best job ever by any of these guys, and they're all like 30, 40, 50, $60 million buyouts too. It's just, and I don't know who kind of started this whole trend, but I just remember like the old Ed Orgeron quote. He's like, "Which door do you want me to walk out of?" Because he's like, "I'm
Yeah.
getting paid. I don't care. I don't give a shit." But to your point about Brian Kelly, I mean, I don't know that there's a more disliked college football coach. I mean, generally, maybe you have somebody different, but like, just the consensus is he's not a great guy. He's just not a nice guy, and
No, he's
he comes
terrible.
across as extremely phony. So it's kind of like I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for him. I know LSU fans are not. So I
Joey,
don't know. You have a nominee,
you
Joey,
guys
for
still mad at
more
Lane
hated?
Kiffin?
Well, dude, it depends who you ask. I obviously don't have as much of a grudge with Lane Kiffin because I just think I think he owns the kind of douchey ego role, and like that's just his thing now. And you know what? You can't hate a guy for leaning into it. Like as much as it might be annoying, like he's at least true to himself about it. Whereas Brian Kelly is just as fake as can be. We could go on a tangent about that. I mean, he's literally basically
Yeah, there's a lot of terrible things Brian Kelly's done.
Charged with murder, essentially. Yeah, just a bad guy. Yeah, the SEC is going to be crazy, though. I mean, the Hugh Freeze might be tossed up in the air soon. I know Lane Kiffin to Florida is stirring around, but the buyouts are nuts. I mean, we're talking.
I
50,
don't
60, 70
see.
million.
I don't see some of these jobs that, maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago we thought were going to come open. I don't see them coming open because I don't think that with the quality of jobs that are already open, the pool is just going to get smaller and smaller. Like everybody, LSU, Florida, they're both going to be going heavy after Lane, trying to get
And
him.
Marcus Freeman too. And like I just can't
Yeah.
see Marcus Freeman leaving Notre Dame right now. I maybe
I
I'm
could see him
dead
leaving,
wrong.
but I wouldn't
Yeah, the
see
money
him
talks.
going to LSU. But it's just kind of like, for me, like you look at a school like Auburn, like could they fire Hugh Freeze? Probably, but who are you going to get to replace him? Because you obviously want Lane Kiffin, but you're not as good a job as LSU. You're not as good a job as Florida in terms of resources and recruiting and things of that nature. Like I just think some of those jobs that we previously thought were going to come open, they just won't because of scarcity in the coaching pool.
Well, it makes you want to reevaluate. Like, I mean, firing somebody back in the day it was really easy to just say, "Hey, reset, new coach, here we go.
Yeah.
We're going to start with a new season." It's obviously tricky with the recruiting aspect of things, but I mean, nowadays the transfer portal. I mean, I'm just the fact that it's so expensive to get rid of somebody, and again, maybe it's just from the business standpoint worth it if you know that you're going to be able to get a couple extra wins to then get more NIL funding and get better players. But it's just mind-boggling that they're just tossing guys out left and right. I mean, not that Billy Napier was clearly a solution at Florida for the next 10 years ever. So you got to get rid of him at some point, but it makes you think that like they're trying to hold on as long as they can and just turn something around.
Florida is going to go big play hunt or big game hunting is what they're going to do, because they just tried that, younger coach from a smaller school that's been super successful and it just failed miserably with Billy Napier. They've got to go big game hunting. They got to get a big name and they got to pony up to do it too. I don't know if it's Lane Kiffin, but LSU's got arguably better resources, less competition for recruits in state. I mean, it's just going to be, and you forget about like Penn State's open too. Like that's another.
That's what I was
big
going to say.
job.
Don't we think that they're going to hold that for Matt Rule for next year? Like, isn't that pretty much the
if he wants to go?
I think
I don't
he's
know if he's
going back.
going to go.
I think he's going back. I mean, I kind of read between the lines in his interview. It was one of the interviews. I think it was maybe, I don't know if it was right. It might have been the day after Franklin got fired, but it was he's so close with that staff and the AD there and everybody. Like, and he even admitted like they talk weekly. Like they all talk.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like he's going back to his alma mater at the end of the year. No shame to Nebraska, but like I kind of think that's where he's going.
I mean, ultimately, it's going to come down to money too. Like if Nebraska ponies up, but if he goes, like he's probably taking the quarterback with him.
I'm a Penn State fan. I don't even know if I want Matt Rule. I don't know if I want to touch any of that. But you're also with the SEC openings, like your options are kind of limited in it. Again, money will play a big factor, but I mean, right now I'm not itching to go coach at Penn State. I mean, you do anyone that thinks that they have a decent chance. Penn State's obviously gotten a good draw with schedule and the Big Ten in terms of, I mean, James Franklin's record when UCLA beat them, the UCLA coach then had the same amount of top 10 wins as James Franklin did, and he's been there since I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just crazy, but the opening doesn't draw me
James Franklin's
SEC ones.
James Franklin's overall record was great, but you can't. That's part of I think the allure of the Penn State job is you do get some of those easier games. You don't play nearly as many. It's not like and I understand the Big Ten is gotten miles and miles better, but it's not like the weekly grind of Florida,
Yes.
like the Florida job. You're playing Alabama, and then the next week you got LSU, and then the next week you got A&M, and then you got Ole Miss, and then you got Georgia, and then you got Tennessee. Like it's not the same thing. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. The only other thing that I have to add to this whole outside sports conversation is shame on you, you Atlanta Falcons. You are all frauds. I hate every one of you.
Take it away, Hutch.
Disgusting. Every one of y'all is disgusting. Raheem Morris is disgusting. Like, you come into these games every week so unprepared. It's disgusting. And we'll probably beat the Patriots next week by 50 just because we're not supposed to. Just because it doesn't make any sense.
Not Bijan, though. Bijan's good.
Bijan's great. I love Bijan. I love Drake London. I love our young defensive guys. Like, there's a lot of talent on that team. We should be more prepared. Zach Robinson is awful. He has not evolved in a year and a half as an offensive coordinator. If for some reason Raheem Morris still has a job next year, it's because we went on a run. Hopefully Oklahoma State will hire Zach Robinson to come back. He played quarterback there. He was thrown to Des Bryant back in the day. Hopefully they'll hire him to come back, and we'll hire Mike McDaniel to be offensive coordinator, which we should have done in 2017. But Dan Quinn thought that Mike McDaniel was too young and wasn't equipped to handle that, so we hired Sarkisian.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you were on record for wanting Mike McDaniels as your OC, and I think that would be a great fit because his tenure in Miami is done after this year for sure. So and I believe as the GM Mike Greer, I believe his tenure is also done in Miami. But yeah, I think that would be a good fit. I think that'd be a good fit for the Falcons to get McDaniels as the OC for sure.
We're just so predictable. I mean, I told you guys before the show that if a wide receiver goes in motion, we're passing. If it's a tight end in motion, we're running. If it's Charlie Warner in motion, we're running behind him. On yesterday, we played the Dolphins, the worst run defense in the league. Bijan had 5 carries at halftime. What are we doing? It was so just to be so unprepared. It's like we all thought like, oh, we're playing a 1-6 team, we'll kill them. You can't do that in the NFL. And as a result, we got embarrassed. I think everybody would agree that the Panthers and the Dolphins are 2 of the worst teams in the league. They're not near the top. We have lost those 2 games by a combined score of 64-10.
Oh, it's bad.
Disgusting.
It's bad. But we beat the Bills.
They're just Jekyll and Hyde.
So
They're
we're
Jekyll
good.
and Hyde, man.
It's disgusting. And I don't know why I hate this. I hate that I'm a fan of this team. I hate that. But the one thing that is coming out of this that's positive is I'm seeing a lot of our fan base now, finally, after 5 years, are starting to appreciate the stability and greatness that Matt Ryan brought us for 14 years. He brought us.
True.
When everybody else before that hated him because he wasn't Mike Vick. Our fan base is just terrible. I hate our fans. I hate everything about it. But I'll be there Sunday watching and cheering for this stupid team.
It's kind of like the Titans. They ran Jeff Fisher out the door because he couldn't go anything besides 8-8, and now they beg for 8-8, dude. They would probably
they shouldn't have got rid of Raves.
Yeah, each hire.
John,
Brian,
if you had to pick an NFL team, who would you pick?
I don't know. I watched some Patriot wins back in the day.
I'm sure. Well, they're getting good again, so now's the time to jump back on.
Yeah.
What's like the number what's like the number one like bandwagon team? I'm not saying I would do that. I just wonder what do
Chiefs.
people
I think it's still the Cowboys, man. There's still so many people who pull for the Cowboys and they suck for 30 years.
Is the Bills a bit of a bandwagon now? I see a lot of Bills fans here locally.
Bills are popular to jump on, but if you're talking just in terms of like cheering for a team just because they're successful, it's either the Chiefs or the Eagles.
Yeah.
Probably the Chiefs more than the Eagles
I don't
because they've
see
had
a
a longer
fan
run of
first,
sustained
man.
success than the Eagles have recently, and the Eagles are great right now. But yeah, I mean, to Ryan's point, like the Cowboys have fans everywhere. There's even like our own, and I know Mike Carbone that's on the show sometimes is a real fan of these teams,
Mhm.
but like he's the ultimate cliche that you talk about where he's a Yankees fan in baseball and a Cowboys fan in football. He's an actual fan of both of those, not like your bandwagon jump on just because they're America's teams or whatever. Yeah, the Cowboys have a lot of fans. Patriots, though, John, if you're picking, like that's a good one to jump back on because they're getting hot again. They've got a quarterback, they've got a good coach. They're
I think
on
you
the
should-
rise.
I think you should just hop on the Bills bandwagon, John, because it's a little closer to you. It's further north.
That's true.
It's a
They're a
cold,
lot of fun too.
extreme cold weather team. Their fans are amazing. Josh Allen's
Mm.
amazing. Their organization's a good organization. That's who
Yeah.
I would be if I was a Canadian. I'd be hopping on the Bills bandwagon.
We're
I
gonna get
see it
John-
here. I see lots of support for the Bills. So
We're gonna get
people I
John.
know personally are big Bills fans.
Ryan.
John, they're fans before the games. It could be like negative 10 degrees, and they'll jump off of cars through tables that are on fire just for fun.
They were shoveling the
it's-
stadium out. Was that the Bills?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah,
most
it's-
Canadian team you can.
And I think doesn't their ownership own a hockey team too?
I don't know.
I'm looking
Do
that
they?
up.
I don't know
What
that
about
connection.
the John? Is it the Ottawa Red Blacks or whatever? Is that your
Yeah, that's yeah.
Ryan?
John,
we're
are
gonna
you
get
Looking
John
that
watching-
in.
up for us.
Are
Yeah,
you
they own
watching
the. Are you a Sabres fan? You're
John
not a
has
Sabres
to be-
fan, but he also
I'm
owns
not a
the
Sabres fan. No, I'm a Senators fan. No, sorry. I
Senators,
was
okay.
listening to Ryan who's asking me something.
I
the
was
the
just gonna
Bills
ask you if
owner
you're
also-
watching the
also
World
owns the
Series.
Sabres.
Oh yeah. I'm tuned in. I mean, I'm not watching every single moment, but I'm pretty dialed into it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Is that like
we
a
got
thing that
Canada
you
team
guys all-
represented.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do
so-
you all rally behind Toronto? Like, is
oh
that-
yeah, like Canada wide is rallied behind the Blue
I
Jays
wasn't
for
sure if that's
sure.
like we still don't like Toronto, so
No. Like even at the Senators game tonight, they're literally playing the Blue Jays game on the score clock, like during the intermission.
that's
So,
crazy.
As they should.
Doesn't happen in America.
It's a big
All right,
deal. I'm
pals,
not a
we're
big
gonna wrap
baseball
it
guy.
there. No, we're gonna wrap it there. It's been a great episode. Grinded out an hour, so good job, fellas. We'll be back next week as always on Monday night. Our show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music after it is concluded. You can always find us live on X and on YouTube. We appreciate your guys' support and for tuning in. If you could, subscribe to our podcast on all your favorite platforms. Leave us a review if you can. Engage with the show. See you guys over on X. Leave a comment. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ryan, Joey, Hutch, thank you guys as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys back next week for episode number 40 of the Nuclear Golf Podcast. Have a great night, everyone.